Uh, I always wanted to be buried with Louise's parents, who were raised in South Alabama. And my father-in-law, before he passed away, shortly before he passed away, had bought a series of a section of plots in a public cemetery uh, in South Alabama. And I always said I wanted to be buried there. And Louise didn't really agree with that. She kind of felt like that I needed to be buried in uh, Louisville so that she could come visit me. And we visited the graves of her parents in South Alabama one hot summer, where all the grass had turned brown and it was blistering hot and very uncomfortable. So on our way back, shortly before we crossed the line into Kentucky from Tennessee, I said thoughtfully, I would like to be buried in Louisville instead. And she was quiet in the car for maybe 20 or 25 miles. And her response was, I am stunned. And so, promptly after we got back to town, I started to shopping around at cemeteries, actively thinking about them. And of course, Cave Hill is so famous, and it's great as an arboretum and a natural area, and well thought of and historic, which would, from my experience at Bernheim, tie in perfectly. I went shopping for plots that we could select. They sell burial rights. And if you are not buried in what you have purchased for 100 years, they can remarket it. And so I got interested in that and was shown several sites that were being remarketed. And boy, did they charge a lot. But I picked two adjoining sites in Section A of Cave Hill Cemetery. And I paid the money for that. And Louise and I were very comfortable. On one side of the plots on one side was a grandiflora magnolia tree, and on the other, which is a favorite of mine, and I have two magnolias growing here on the property, and that's the southern magnolia. And on the other side, about 75 feet from this 100-year-old grandiflora magnolia were located two Alex opaca hollies, like the one I have in the backyard.